Hey, what's up, everyone? Scott. First double last night. It's real exciting for us here at Outdoors Uncaged. So I'm going to be telling you guys on how we were able to pull off this double. So I call this redemption because there's 2 hunts to be successful for this one time. One thing that Zach, Josh, and I like to do is whether we're successful or unsuccessful, always whenever we get back to the truck, we always break down and discuss things that went right, things that went wrong, what we expected, and what actually played out, and the differences of those two, and why we think that was. So this time I'm just going to sit here, discuss it, and talk to you guys about what we were actually thinking about before we set up and we were successful. Like I said, this is 2 parts, so I got to go back in time to a hunt that happened about a week and a half ago on this same property where we had a coyote come in and we didn't kill it. So I'm going to walk you through, do a quick little overview, just kind of orientate you guys on the situation. So this is the road down here. This is our parking location. This direction's north, and there's kind of 4 spots that we expect these coyotes come from. These coyotes come from thicker cover, think of like woodlots, swamps, swales, a lot of high grass, that sort of thing. All this area right now, from here, this is a tree line, so anywhere north of here is a cornfield. We got some beans down here, and the rest of this area right here is all a cut corn or cut wheat field. So it's one of those things where we're able to draw those coyotes out in the middle of the night, and we can see them from from a far distance. So what we did is we set up part. That night we had a south-southwest wind. It was going from the southwest to the south. So what we did is we walked this road, walked this beans all the way down till we were about parallel with this tree line. Once when we were about parallel to that tree line, we went in probably about halfway or so. We set up. Now this time what we did was we put the call directly downwind or north of us. So this is where the call is. So one thing that we've been doing is even in the summertime, we're starting off with howls just to see if there's any coyotes in the area. Now, one piece of information that I want to give you is that we were actually getting reports of coyotes howling about a half mile to a mile north of here. So we were trying to hunt that pack of coyotes. And that's kind of why we set up the way that we did. Called with howls. We didn't get a call back, which isn't uncommon this time of year, so we went up and went silent. We went silent for about 5-10 minutes, and then we went into our distress. So Zach started playing the distress on the Lucky Duck Revolt, and almost immediately I had a coyote within range, within sight. So this coyote came from the west, came from somewhere over here. He came out and peeked out on the other side of this tree line to about right here. Now, there's one thing that you really need to pay attention to when you get set up. These coyotes, what they like to do is they'll hear the call and they're going to use their nose to confirm what their ears are telling them. So what they're going to do is they're going to circle downwind. That's exactly what this coyote did. He was almost constantly moving, looking and trying to smell what his ears were hearing. So once when he was right here and I saw him, he immediately went down around and tried to send that call. Now, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for him, he did smelling us. Something happened where he got too far down. I wasn't able to get a shot, and he busted. He went to this tree line, and he started barking, making a ruckus, and what that basically is it's the coyote's way of telling other coyotes that there's danger in the area. Think of a doe blowing in the woods. She busts you. This coyotes do the same thing. So we were kind of like, we were busted. We knew that the hunt was over. But one good thing that we did know that the location is good. There's coyotes in the area. And we kind of knew the direction that they were going to come from, which would generally be either the west or the east. So that's another piece of important information that you're going to need to remember. So last night, the way that we set up was a little bit different. key piece of information too is that we had the same wind. So we waited for the same wind to happen. This time it was a south wind. So the wind was blowing from the road straight north. Now what we did a little bit differently, we parked at a different spot. We parked down here on this side of the road. What that did was eliminate this wood lot. So we knew that the coyotes were going to come from one of three directions. They were either going to come from the west, like they did last time. They're going to come from the north, downwind of us, which is probable, but not really, because they were going to smell us and bust us, or they were going to come from the east. Now, like I said, it's an important piece of information because I really like hunting these crosswind situations. So let me walk you through. We parked, and then we walked straight down this cut wheat field to this tree line again. Now, the coyote was either going to have to circle around or he was going to have to bust through to see or to hear or smell what his ears were hearing. We set the call about 50 yards to our northwest, but a little bit differently this time. Zach was using these MFK howlers, these mouth calls, these diaphragm calls. And what Zach did was he started off with a male invitational howl or a lonesome howl, locator howl. And immediately we got a howl back. So we knew we were in business, and the direction that it came from, you might have guessed it, it came from the west, the same spot that that coyote came from last week. So Josh was the other shooter. Josh kind of swung his gun around and he covered the same direction that I was facing. We got eyes on, probably about 300, 350 yards away, and the coyotes were coming in, so we knew we were in a good situation. They were coming in the call. Now, just like last time, what this coyote does and did is he uses his nose to confirm what his ears are hearing him. So what he did is he kind of circled downwind, and when he did that, he went on the other side of a hill. So his eyes weren't able to confirm what his ears were telling him. He might have scented us, but before he scented us and our scent blew downwind, Zach was Johnny on the spot and he started playing some squeaks. And immediately that coyote turned 180 degrees and started beelining back to where he was coming from. At this time, another coyote showed up. So there was two coyotes, and Josh and I were discussing, we were communicating with each other on which one we were going to try and get. We were, getting on who's on which coyote and who would shoot which one. Lucky for us, these coyotes met up in the middle of the field, about 120 yards away. Now, Josh, we had it planned out. Josh was going to shoot the one on the right. I was going to shoot at the one on the left. Josh didn't know that when those coyotes stopped in the middle of the field, those two coyotes lined up perfectly for me. So we had one coyote come in, and I had the other one come here. So they kind of met up like this. Josh, on the other hand, saw one coyote come from over here and one from over here. So we shot at the same coyote. When that happened, though, the coyote that we didn't shoot scooted to the left, so that we knew that that was going to be my shot. So it scooted to the left about another 40 yards or so, and Zach, again, was Johnny on the spot. Right after you shoot a coyote, what we like to do is use pup distress. And immediately, Zach played pup distress. It got that attention from the coyote. For a split second, he stopped, presented a shot, and that's when I shot him. He went about another 60 to 80 yards, so he was about 220 yards, and I had to shoot him again, and I put him down that time. But that's how it played out. Real important for us, for the takeaways, is play the wind, make sure you locate these dogs, assume or have an assumption that they're probably going to be in the thick stuff, either in the woodlots or the swamps, swales, high grass, stuff like that, that thick cover, just like a big mature buck is, and you're going to have to set up on it. So, thank you all so much for liking our stuff, following us along. I'm super excited. I'm headed out to Utah in I don't know, 2 days, tomorrow, something like that. I don't even know right now. I'm just ecstatic because we just got 2 dogs down. For us, 2020 season's right around the corner. I think it's September 1st today. So we're 1 month away from the whitetail opener, our Bud and Breeder. Butter and bread? I don't know. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. Super fun. So stay tuned, guys.